Hello guys, in this video we are going to learn about the input pipeline and why we use an input pipeline. So you can run multiple command in a single line. In that case we use a pipeline. So what is pipeline? Pipeline is a straight line that you can use. So this is your pipeline here having a left portion and right portion. You can write here command in left hand side and right hand side. So here you have a write like a command, and here you have to be also type as command. If you want to use one more command, so you can use pipeline, then you have to use a command. And if you want to use one more command, so for you that you have to use a one more pipeline then command. So like that you can make a chain. So let's try to understand when we use this and how it will work. So whatever this command will generate output, so you have to pass this as a input to this command. Whatever this command will generate an output, you have to pass this as a input. And whatever this command generate outputs, you will have to map this as an input to this command. So this is a way how it will work. And one more thing that you have to be understand, here you have a command 1 and pipeline command 2 and 1. So whatever this will generate an output, it will map that output to this input parameter. So you know that every command will take in some input from the users in an input parameter. So you have to be map this value to that parameter. So input parameter you have to be map it. So how you can map this output to this command input parameter? So you have to be map it. So they're having a different way that you can use. First one is an y name you can map, y value you can map, and third one is y input objects you can map. So these are three way to mapping output to input parameters of your command. By name, if you have a name in second command input parameter, so that should be a name parameter in right hand side and its value. So it will automatic map to this input parameter via name. If having a value, so you can pass only value here left hand side, and that will automatic map to 0 position, which will accept only value that will map to that parameter. And y input object, so that should be an input object which will accept an y value. It will map to that parameter automatic if you use a pipeline. So this is a three way that you can use, and you have to be explore which parameter will take a y name, or which one take a y value, and which one taken y input objects. So these are the value that you can pass at left hand side. So I'm going to use this. So we have to pass the input parameter of this command here in left hand side. So first I'm going to use an get hyphen help, then I'm going to use get hyphen service. And if you use a full detail, hit enter. Now you can see display name, or you can map to this name. So this is your input parameter that should be available in a left hand side with value. That automatic value will assign to this input parameter if this parameter will accept input pipeline as a by name. If it is accepting in by value, so in that case it should be a 0 position and it should be accepted by value. So how you can see this detail? So here you can see that detail. Now you can see name parameter which will take as an string array more than one, but here having an pipeline input, it will accept or not. So true means it will accept an pipeline. And which kind of an way it will map to this parameter? First one is an y value. It can be mapped y value. You can pass only value in left hand side, and you can pass with name input parameter, that is a name, this one. So this one you have to use with value. So what value you want to be used, you have to be using with value and property name. If it is accepting this one as a y property name, so that should be in left hand side and its value, but this is not accepting. So name is accepting with both way, y value, y name, and this one is your input object. So let's try to understand this. So first I'm going to use an by value. So what I have to do, I have to use an value. So is spooler is my service that I want to use in pipeline. So there in left hand side I have used value and get hyphen service. So I'm not giving the name or other input parameters. So it will automatic assign to which parameter and how it will map to that parameter. That is a name automatic assign. When I hit enter, now you can see it is displaying that value. And you can pass more than one value as well. So what I have to do, I have to use a comma, then second name, that ALG, I'm going to use this one and hit enter. Now you can see it assigning value using left hand side value of this command input parameter. This is a first method, that is a y value, and I'm going to use an y input object. So for that I'm going to use get hyphen service. Here I'm going to use first one service, that is in your service. This will assign automatic to input objects and it will return that. Now you can see. So this is your y or input object mapping way. One way is left, that is your y name. How you can use, you have an two way that you can use to mapping that. You can use an CSV, in that you have to be use the same name input parameter and then value of that. And another is you can create in PowerShell objects. So I have already. So for creating a PowerShell object, new hyphen object, then you have to use a system management automation. Then we have to use a PS PowerShell object, and then we have to use a property. Here I have to use an this way to mapping. What is that parameter? Get hyphen service will take, that is a name, and then I'm going to assign in value is spooler. Now use pipeline get hyphen service. Hit enter. So this is your y name mapping in a pipeline. So now you can see here I have put it the name parameter and same name parameter having in a right hand side command. So it automatic map into that parameter using in this pipeline. If you are using it this way, that will help you, that very widely used. Let's try to understand another. What I have to do, this command will accept y value, y name, y input object, but some of the command will accept only y name property. So how you can identify which one accept y value, y name? So you have an get help command through that you can explore that thing. So what I'm going to do here, I have a get process, get hyphen help and get hyphen process and full detail. Hit enter. Now I'm going to see here having a name parameter and ID and input object. So you can pass that. That is your third way that you can map to this. But ID and name, it will how we can map it. So let's try to see it. Now you can see computer name you can pass as a pipeline input. It will accept by property name. So you have to be using computer name also in a left hand side command, and that's ID. So ID, now you can see it will also accept an pipeline input by a property name. So in left hand side this ID should be there. In both command this ID should be there, then it can be mapped with respect to its value. And now you can see name parameter which will accept more than one, and it will also accept a input pipeline. That isn't true, but it will accept only y property name. If you have used name, so it will map to this name property. If you have used an ID, so that will map to ID input parameter. So how it will map, you have to use this property name in the left hand side. Let's try to explore it. Get hyphen process. Now I'm going to use here name. If I use name, what it will do, for example notepad. So I have already opened some files so that it should be available a process. So now you can see here I have opened these two files for generating a process and hit enter. Now you can see it is showing two process which is related to notepad. This time what I'm going to do, this value I'm going to pass through as a input pipeline. So how I can pass it, it's in by property name. I have to create a PowerShell object, or we can use an CSV. So what I'm going to do, I am going to create here object new object. Then I have to use system management and PS object property. So here I am creating an PowerShell objects. In that with ID and value. For example, I'm taking this one ID, so it will accept only this and paste here, hit enter. Now you can see this pipeline automatic assigned to ID parameter. So it is accepting only Y property name. So this ID will assign to that ID properties parameter. It will not be assigned to name parameter. If you want to be assigned to that name parameter, you have to use a same exactly name parameter here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use a name. Then what is the name process? For example, node string, right? So node parameter, notepad, and hit enter. Now you can see it is returning only those notepad related process. So here I'm going to show you one more use case, get hyphen process and name. What it will do, it will generate this like output, and I want to pass this output to stop process. This will stop or delete only these process. So I have used here pipeline, how it will map to and which parameter this will map. This will map to input object parameter which having in a stop hyphen process, and hit enter. Now you can see that has been removed from here. So this is another use case how you can use it. If you want to use a get hyphen service and from the CSV, so you can use also like that. I'm going to import CSV path I have used, and I have a name CSV. Now you can see these are two services available in CSV file with name parameter. And this time I'm going to use a pipeline and get hyphen service. So what it will do, it will get only these services whatever I have put it into a CSV file with name parameter. So it will map to that name parameter via property name. Hit enter. Now you can see it is returning that. So like that you can also use this pipeline.